Since 2008, it's been a very different economic picture or system. And since 2016, which I think was when things started to change, when the walls in the walled garden started going up, when the platforms started to say, we want to take control. Because what happened with the clients thought that when the web came along, they'd have the opportunity to relate directly to consumers. So in the old days, the relationship with consumers was controlled by Walmart, Tesco, and Carrefour. And the web gave them an opportunity, manufacturers, to go straight to you and I as a consumer. That didn't happen in the middle of the second decade. And what happened was the platforms started to exercise great control. The big five, Google, Facebook, Amazon, Tencent, Alibaba, basically. To some extent, the software platforms as well, and Apple and Microsoft, which you were talking about this morning with Apple. But essentially, that direct-to-consumer relationship didn't mature. So what clients are really concerned about, when Unilever buys a Dollar Shave Club, or when Coca-Cola buys a Costa, what they're really doing, or Nestle buys the Starbucks franchise, which we launched recently, what they're really doing is trying to exercise control on that relationship,
so
and that's the key.
WPP, Omnicom, Publicis, we'll talk about them as a block rather than individual. Was it impossible to turn these super tankers round?
Well, legacy companies, as you well know, because you interview the chairman, CEOs of legacy companies, are in a very, very difficult position. The speed of the digital transformation, if you look at our revenue growth, you see it's accelerating. Q1, it was about a third. Q2, it's up to about 45%. In July, we were up 50, 60%. We're small, but the scale of the change and the speed of the change is so great that very few legacy companies can accommodate it personally, and particularly in a listed situation. Uncontrolled listed companies, average life of a CEO is what, 5 to 6 years? Average life of a CMO is much lower. What is the onus is really to try and, or the aim is to try and keep the status quo rather than change it. I remember Hubert Joly, who runs Best Buy, actually put it very well at a business council meeting. He was talking about digital transformation, and he said, well, it's about change management, so I changed the management. And I think very few companies, and he's done an extremely good job at Best Buy, in terms of accommodating change in a retail business under tremendous pressure. Very few companies are willing to make, in the listed environment, in an uncontrolled listed environment where you don't have control of the equity. You mentioned the luxury companies, Hermes, etc., where their families have control, or Inditex where they have control. I mean, in the case of S4, I have voting control. Controversial, but I think those sorts of structures in the listed sector, CEOs and boards can make long-term decisions. I mean, coming back to WPP, I think it's very difficult for the management of WPP to make the structural change necessary without ruffling you lot. Without you starting to criticize, or analysts starting to criticize very heavily, the impact on the short-term profitability. So making the structural change in a short period of time is very difficult. That's why private equity gains ground as well. I mean, their average time frame is what, 5 or 6 years?
A bit longer, they think.
Yeah, I mean, you take Kantar, WPP sells Kantar. It will be very interesting to see what happens there. My bet would be they'll float off pieces, the sexier pieces of Kantar. They'll get a good rating for that. What they'll do with the custom business, the more traditional business, we'll have to see. But it's an interesting phenomenon.
Hi, I'm Joanna Bersecci, and thank you for watching. You can check out more of our videos by clicking on the boxes on the screen. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more from CNBC International. Thank you for watching.